The Secret of the Wealth. Once upon a time, there were two strangers who had both experienced business failures. They felt overwhelmed by life's pressures and had lost hope. They confided in each other, sharing their woes. Their conversation caught the attention of an elderly man nearby. "Old man, young people, do you know where your failure lies?" Young people, they poured out their reasons for failure. "Old man, listen carefully. I have a few questions for you. Do you know what the poorest people have the most of? Young people, what do poor people have? Old man, and do you know what successful individuals have the most of? Young people, money. Old man, do you know what you have the most of? Young people, time. Old man, no, you're both wrong. The most abundant thing in your lives is excuses. Your failure isn't because you lack ability or capability. It's because you've made too many excuses. On the other hand, successful people have an abundance of solutions. They don't make excuses. They find reasons for their failures and seek ways to solve problems. The young people felt ashamed and humbled by the old man's words. They realized that it was time to change their mindset and take action. When you have no way out, you have no excuse. This is a story about a little girl. When she started elementary school, she fell in love with drawing. Whenever she had free time, she would bring her imaginative ideas to life on paper and proudly showed them to her mother. Her mother wanted to encourage her passion, always praise her artwork. The girl was introverted, shy, and didn't quite fit in. She lived in a world of her own imagination, silently creating her art. During middle school, her life took a turn. Her grandmother passed away, and her family dynamic shifted. Her parents' relationship deteriorated, leading to divorce. Her mother fell seriously ill. The girl felt desperate, especially as their living conditions worsened. Her father left, and her mother's illness weighed heavily on her. Soon after, her mother also passed away, plunging her into deep grief. But life had to go on. One day, she saw an advertisement in the newspaper about teaching English in a non-English speaking country. She was looking for work and wanted a fresh start, away from the city that held painful memories. She seized the opportunity and applied to become an English teacher in another country. Months later, a chance encounter at a bar introduced her to a polite gentleman. They discovered shared interests and spent more and more time together. A year later, they happily married. They had a beautiful daughter. But life took another unexpected turn. Her husband developed a drinking problem and became physically abusive. One day, he kicked her out of their home, and she left the country. With their one-year-old daughter back in her home country, she was unemployed and survived on welfare as a single mother. She struggled to provide for her daughter. Poverty forced her to skip meals so her child could eat more. She felt like a complete failure. Due to the series of unfortunate events, depression consumed her, and she even contemplated ending her life. But her daughter inspired her to seek help. She decided to channel her energy into drawing. Whenever her daughter sat beside her, she forgot everything else. She frequented a small cafe during her child's nap time. Even though she couldn't afford food there, she'd order just a cup of coffee, and the cafe staff kindly allowed her to stay. After completing several comic chapters, she submitted her work to a publisher, and unsurprisingly, she quickly received a rejection letter. Undeterred, she sent her work to another publisher, but the answer was negative once again. After sending her comics to numerous publishers and facing rejection from each one, her inbox overflowed with rejection letters. She began losing confidence in her art book. But one day, an editor from a publishing company read her complete portfolio. This breakthrough led to the publisher agreeing to publish her work. Upon its first release, the audience loved it, and 1,000 copies quickly sold out. This deeply inspired her confidence, reinforcing her unwavering belief. Several years later, she transformed from an unemployed, depressed single mother surviving on government aid into a best-selling author. Her comic series was translated into 6 languages, and globally over 100 million copies were sold. Her success didn't come easily. As a single mother, she faced immense financial pressure while caring for her child and battling depression. Despite countless rejections, she emerged stronger, completing her first comic book. Even now with wealth and fame, she never forgets the hardship she endured. Her story teaches us that if you have a dream and face repeat rejection, don't let it stop you. Even when you fail repeatedly or hit rock bottom, don't weaken base your journey on faith and keep moving toward your goals. Never forget your dreams.